In 1974, the peaceful town of Ossett in West Yorkshire, England, with a population of about 17,000, suddenly became the focus of attention after a shocking incident. Michael Taylor, a 31-year-old local man known for his quiet nature, brutally murdered his wife Christine just hours after attending an exorcism at St. Thomas Church. The case shocked the public, not only because of its extreme violence, but also due to the religious and exorcism-related circumstances involved. Previously, Michael had joined a local prayer group in an effort to overcome his mental and financial struggles, but he gradually began exhibiting strange behaviors such as speaking in unknown languages, fearing the moon, and was believed to be possessed. After a 7-hour exorcism, Michael was said to have been freed from most of the evil spirits, yet the priest warned that a murderous demon remained. The next morning, Michael killed his wife and wandered the streets naked, covered in blood, whispering, "This is the blood of Satan." Michael and Christine Taylor were a married couple living in Ossett with their 5 sons, aged 6 to 12. They lived in a modest but warm home, typical of a middle-class family at the time. Though not wealthy, their life had been peaceful and sufficient, revolving around work, children, and simple daily joys. Michael was a hard-working, introverted man devoted to his family. However, everything began to unravel when he suffered a severe back injury that prevented him from continuing his manual labor, the family's main income source. At the same time, the UK economy was in a deep recession, making job hunting nearly impossible. The combination of financial hardship, feelings of helplessness at failing to provide, and chronic physical pain led Michael into severe depression. He became withdrawn, irritable, sleepless, and increasingly distant from his wife and children. Christine, despite her efforts to care for and encourage him, began feeling powerless as Michael sank deeper into darkness. The once joyful Taylor household grew cold and bleak, like a storm silently approaching on the horizon. Seeking comfort and a new path amid mounting difficulties, Michael and Christine joined a Christian fellowship group in Gober, a nearby area. The group was led by Marie Robinson, a young, passionate, and charismatic female preacher. The prayer meetings were lively and emotional, with members singing hymns, reading the Bible, and sharing their faith as a way to heal their souls. Initially, both participated actively, hoping Michael could regain mental balance. However, soon Michael became unusually attracted to Marie. He spent more time praying and talking privately with her and showed uncommon enthusiasm at group gatherings. Christine noticed this excessive attention immediately. Their marriage began to fracture. Christine felt jealousy, hurt, and suspicion that her husband harbored feelings for another woman, though cloaked in religion. Meanwhile, Michael grew more mentally unstable. Instead of healing, he seemed to sink deeper into inner conflict, distancing himself from Christine and their children, his mind drifting into a hazy state between faith and psychological turmoil. After some time in the Christian fellowship, Michael's behavior became increasingly abnormal. Once a calm and quiet father, he turned irritable, quick to anger, and struggled to control his emotions. Outbursts involved yelling without reason in a harsh tone, unsettling both his wife and children. Beyond verbal violence, Michael began exhibiting strange behaviors, worrying Christine. He panicked whenever he saw the moon, convinced its light brought something dreadful. Moreover, during private prayers with Marie Robinson, he started speaking in an unrecognizable, almost indecipherable language, slipping into an eerie trance. Sensing something was wrong, Christine grew suspicious that Michael was involved with Marie. Their closeness and secrecy troubled her deeply. During a tense confrontation, Christine directly asked if he was betraying her. Contrary to expectations, Michael neither admitted nor seemed ashamed. Instead, he loudly proclaimed he had conquered lust, as if overcoming a spiritual trial rather than hiding a mundane fault. However, these words did not reassure Christine. She clearly sensed Michael was falling into a spiritual abyss where religion, emotion, and reason no longer had clear boundaries. As Michael Taylor's abnormal behavior worsened, from sudden bouts of rage to strange speech, fear of the moon, and increasingly uncontrollable actions, those around him began to believe this was more than just a psychological issue. Father Peter Vincent and his wife Sally, both experienced in exorcisms, were invited to assess Michael's condition. After careful observation, they came to a chilling conclusion: Michael was possessed by demons. An exorcism ceremony was quickly arranged on the night of October 5, 1974, at St. Thomas Church in Gauber. It lasted 7 continuous hours, from 9 p.m. until nearly 4 a.m. During the ritual, Michael was tightly bound to a chair while the priest and attendants recited prayers, sprinkled holy water, and performed traditional rites to expel evil spirits. Many insults were hurled to provoke the demons to manifest, and Michael endured severe physical and mental torment until he was completely exhausted. According to accounts, around 40 demons were cast out from Michael's body that night, each representing a sin: lust, greed, pride, envy. However, Father Vincent warned that the most dangerous demon, the murderer, still remained. The exorcism ended unfinished, and Michael was allowed to return home. No one could have known that within hours, a horrific tragedy would unfold. In the early hours of October 6, 1974, only hours after the grueling overnight exorcism at St. Thomas Church, Michael Taylor returned home exhausted and mentally disturbed. What happened next was a nightmare beyond imagination. In an uncontrollable frenzy, Michael brutally murdered his wife, Christine, in a way not only savage but deeply haunting. Christine's face was beaten until disfigured, and her face and neck were torn apart with bare hands. Her body bore signs of severe assault, as if Michael was trying to pull something from her. He also killed the family dog by tearing it into pieces. After the crime, Michael wandered naked through the streets of Ossett, covered in blood. A local resident found him and called the police. When arrested, Michael showed no fear or panic, but repeatedly and lifelessly muttered, "This is the blood of Satan." The scene at the crime scene haunted investigators and forensic staff for years. No one could explain what truly happened in Michael's mind. Was it the result of mental illness, a failed exorcism, or something even darker? Following the horrific murder, Michael Taylor was quickly arrested and put on trial. However, psychiatric experts determined during the investigation and trial that Michael was incapable of understanding or controlling his actions at the time of the crime. The court ruled him not guilty by reason of insanity, based on evidence that he was experiencing severe mental disorder and was not criminally responsible under English law. Instead of a typical prison sentence, Michael was committed to high-security psychiatric hospitals. He spent 2 years at Broadmoor Hospital, one of England's most secure facilities for dangerous patients. Afterward, he was transferred to Bradford Royal Hospital for an additional 2 years of treatment. Throughout this period, he received close care and monitoring to prevent any violent behavior. Notably, despite the case's strong ties to the Exorcism and the Christian Fellowship Group, no church members, including preacher Marie Robinson and Father Peter Vincent, faced criminal charges or accusations related to Christine's death. The case ended with controversial conclusions about the boundaries between faith, mental health, and the law, leaving many unresolved questions for public debate and experts. The Michael Taylor case caused a major shock in 1970s England. The story of a man believed possessed undergoing a long exorcism and then brutally killing his wife quickly became a sensational topic in the media. Newspapers, TV shows, and public discussions extensively covered the case, making the town of Ossett infamous for its eerie and mysterious reputation. Religious communities were deeply shaken as well. St. Thomas Church and the Christian fellowship group Michael's family attended came under heavy criticism. Many claimed the exorcism had been conducted recklessly and excessively, seriously damaging Michael's mental and physical health. Allegations of harsh treatment, binding, constant holy water sprinkling, and harsh rituals sparked heated debates about safety and ethics in exorcism practices. This reaction prompted religious authorities and the British government to review regulations related to exorcisms. As a result, some reforms were introduced to ensure exorcisms were carried out under stricter supervision, with safety standards and psychiatric consultation. The Michael Taylor case became a landmark event, igniting profound discussions about the intersection of faith, mental health, and social responsibility in religious activities. After completing his treatment at psychiatric hospitals, Michael Taylor returned to the town of Ossett, facing a life filled with challenges and hardships. Although released, he continued to struggle with deep psychological scars and traumas that were not easy to heal. Over the following years, Michael made multiple suicide attempts, at least 4 times, revealing the intense inner turmoil and persistent feelings of despair that haunted him. His life was overshadowed by suspicion and scorn from the surrounding community. The notoriety of the horrific case caused him to be constantly scrutinized and ostracized. His family also endured tremendous pressure, while Michael's personal relationships became increasingly fragile and isolating. In 2005, Michael once again encountered legal troubles when he was accused of inappropriate behavior toward a minor. This incident resulted in a probation sentence and mandatory participation in an outpatient psychological treatment program aimed at improving his behavior and managing ongoing mental health issues. Despite the stern judgment, Michael continued to receive close monitoring and support from medical professionals to help him gradually regain stability in his life. Michael Taylor's life after that tragic ordeal was marked by a long series of difficulties, pain, and relentless efforts to fight the darkness within and reclaim the peace he had lost. The Michael Taylor case was not only a personal tragedy, but also left a profound mark as an illustration of how mental illness can devastate a family under the influence of extreme religious groups. This story forced public debate on critical questions about the fragile boundaries between faith and safety, religious belief and mental health. The case became a vivid example of the consequences caused by reckless intervention from religious groups, especially involving individuals in their most vulnerable states. The impact of the case extended beyond legal or medical realms, becoming a source of inspiration for many cultural works and social studies. Most notably, the novel 1977 by writer David Peace portrayed Michael Taylor's story in depth, highlighting the dark undercurrents in British social and religious life during that era. Additionally, the case remains a popular topic on many renowned true crime and supernatural podcasts, attracting widespread attention from audiences fascinated by these genres. Through these discussions, Michael Taylor's story continues to live on as a cautionary tale about the complexities of human psychology and the hidden dangers when faith is misused.